Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Now, make sure you pop on over to Tony Gaskins Academy. Just released the Boys Club, and this is for young men who need some guidance. It's a kind of courses, videos, and we'll have live calls, and it'll expand from there. I would say ages 10 to 18. If you got an advanced 9-year old or something, it's I put on the videos if it's for all ages, or I'll put 16 and up, 13 and up, what have you, 13 and under. So get on over there. You'll see that called the Boys Club, and we will be building from there. And hold on one second. But I want to talk to you about this because the situationship is blocking your blessing. It's blocking your blessing. It's hindering your progress. If you are in a sexual relationship and you're not married, that's a situationship. Because until you get a commitment, until you make a commitment that says until death do us part, you in a situationship. If you having sex, if you're not having sex, then that's not a situationship. That is a intentional dating relationship where you're doing it the right way. And I want you to understand that this right here, these situationships belong to the devil, and they are to stall you, to delay you, to prolong marriage. It's really to get you in this place to where you tripped up and you trapped. And the reason why you in a situationship is because the person you're with is not sure about you. And the person you're with could not want you all together, but not knowing where they're going with their life and what they're doing, you're like a pit stop. It's like a prolonged pit stop. It's not like you're on a journey together and you going to a destination. You at the pit stop and they just kind of, resting and a little tired and a little lost and just putting nail to wood on you. And you in that situationship and there's really no real plan, no real goal. And a lot of women feel like they have to be in a situationship, and some men feel that way. And the reason why is because our world is so sexual and we so lost. Y'all forgive me, I'm updating my calendar. Put my haircut in here. My barber just wrote me, so I don't want to miss that. The world is so lost. We're so lost, broken, busted, disgusted, tore up from the floor up, looking like who shot John and forgot to kill him, that we can't get ourselves together. And when you lost and you don't have purpose and you are without intention, you end up in a situationship. And that is something to keep you stuck. And what this situationship is it's a stepping stone. So when you get with the fornicating podcaster, they're sleeping with you and you are what they call and forgive my French, a bucket. So you are a bucket that's being dumped into, you being deposited into, but you mean nothing to this person. And they deposited into you just a hole, HOLE. You just a hole. And let me tell you the lie that we've been made to believe by Satan. We've been made to believe that we need sex. We've been made to believe that a relationship is not real if you're not having sex. We've been made to believe that the person for you, that even your soulmate will not wait on you if you want to wait until marriage. And that is a 1000% lie from the pit of hell itself. That is a 1000% lie. Now, what you have to understand is no one will hold you to a standard that you don't set for yourself. So if you don't say, a lot of people will say to me, well, Tony, why didn't you abstain until marriage? Because that wasn't my standard. And that wasn't my wife's standard. Because the messages that we're getting now, contrary to popular belief, We didn't have YouTube. So a lot of people try to act like me and everybody else that's married now but was in fornication was getting the same messages. No, we were not. How many Tony Gaskins is there today? Exactly. So how many you think there were in 2005, 20 years ago when I met my wife? We were not being preached to every day through the internet. We were not, we had, so now today you got your parents preaching to you. Our parents wasn't preaching to us. We were grown. We were in college. So we weren't even with our parents anymore. So your parents might not be preaching to you. Or your parents may be preaching something to you, but my voice may land and hit you harder than your parents' voice. So all we had was our parents. And then if we went to church, we had the pastor, but the pastor a lot of times was in fornication or adultery. So they're not really talking about that. They talking about giving tithes. So we didn't have what you have today. So stop comparing apples to oranges. We didn't have Instagram where you get badgered with the same messages. YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn. You could go Twitter. You could go anywhere on the web, and whatever content you get into that you are absorbing, you get that over and over and over and over again. And you're being badgered with the same type of content over and over and over again. And so that's what you have to realize and understand. And so once you understand that you're getting badgered with that, now you realize you don't have to be in a situationship. Somebody made that term up. I didn't even make it up. I ain't know we didn't have situationships back then. Back when I was dating, I heard that word probably maybe 5 years ago. And I mean, I've been married and a relationship coach, but somebody made up that genius word, soul ties. Somebody made that word up. I didn't know that word when I was dating. So I want you to understand that today, there's no reason for you to be in a situationship other than you wanting to be in one. And it's the thing. I have people that hire me who are atheists, people who are Muslim, people who are agnostic, people who are Christian but they living in willing sin. I have all kind of people that I coach. And it's a lot of people they totally fine with sex before marriage. They totally fine. Some people I coach fine with sex on the first date. And they'll come to me for my message and not realize that it doesn't work if you're not going to abstain. If you're not none of this how to get a husband stuff is gonna work. Not with no real man if you're not willing to abstain. How to get a wife stuff, it's not gonna work. Like if you a man and you meet a woman and she requires that y'all have sex because she want to try to ride out before marrying you, I don't curse, but she's a whore. Point blank period, meaning harlot. She's a harlot. Any woman that want to require the ride and say, well, what about Tony? What about the man? Stop worrying about the man when I'm addressing a woman. Stop worrying about a woman when I'm addressing the man. Worry about you, loose booty. Worry about you. If you are whorish, then you need to look yourself in the mirror and you need to address that. And stop trying to pass the blame. Oh, well, the man sleeping with the woman too. No, you sleeping with yourself because it's you that's going to be carrying the baby. See, that's why it's worse for a woman because a man can deposit into a woman and take off with his life. A man could deposit into a woman and he's not responsible for that baby. He can make money under the table. The woman has to carry that child for 9 months, visibly. 10 months all together. The woman got to bear that C-section or pushing that baby out. The woman have to bear a possible stillborn, a possible miscarriage, a possible deformity in the baby, possible special needs in the baby, postpartum, body falling apart, body tore up from the floor up. The woman has to bear all of that. So if a woman is ignorant enough to require that a man sleep with her before marriage because she want to try the ride, she want to see how big his thing is and how he get down in the bed, there is no other thing other than her being a harlot. She is a harlot because that's not a woman's nature. And I'm telling you because I done met and dealt with countless women. So for those of y'all women who you think that's normal, no, that's you and your loose booty friends. That's not normal. You in the wrong circle. I'm here to tell you as a man. I done dealt with so many women who do not get down like that. They don't move like that. And I'll be honest with you. In my dating days, when I was out there dating, I met one girl who asked me for sex before I asked her for sex. And I was in the 6th grade and she was in the 7th grade getting the line and wore out of her by 10th graders, 11th graders, 12th graders, grown men probably too. But I knew 10th graders who were sleeping with her. And she wrote me a letter and said it's time that we have sex. Other than that, with all the women that I dealt with, not now one of them came on to me sexually before I came on to them. So if you are a woman or you a man and you dealing with a woman and she requiring to get in the bed, run. If you a woman and you doing that, change your life today. That is nasty and it does not matter. It does not matter. And let me tell you why you think it matter, and this why these situationships are so prominent and prevalent. The reason why you think it matters is because this is what you don't understand. The reason why you think sex matters is because you don't have real love. Sex matters when you need somebody who got good enough sex to please you and make you get off on the sex alone. When you have real love, the conversation is better than an orgasm. When you have real love, the cuddling is better than an orgasm. When you have real love, just quality time, being in each other presence is better than an orgasm. And I'm telling you, I done had plenty of orgasms. I'm telling you, it don't matter what you do sexually, how kinky it is, how crazy it is, don't nothing feel better than real love. Situationships are sexual relationships outside of marriage. That's how I'm defining it. You don't have a real commitment. You're not under any vows. It's not until death does us part. It's none of that. It is none of that. And that's what you got to realize and understand. So you got to get to a place to where you start to grow up and you start to date intentionally. And you set a standard for your life. And you only deal with a person who wants what you want. Don't deal with somebody who you got to convince, who you got to sell, who you got to force. Don't deal with somebody who you got to do all that with. Don't deal with that. Because if you got to do that, then you're in a dead end. Y'all need to be able to sit down and y'all have the same goals. You want to be married in X amount of time. You want to have kids. You want to build business. You want to do this. You want to do that. That's what you need. You don't need this situation where you got to take and You got all this right here going on, and you got to be begging them, pushing them, convincing them. Listen, the fastest way to get somebody to change is to leave. That's the fastest way. The fastest way to get somebody to change is to leave. I'm here to tell you. And when you take and you leave, listen to me. That's when, if this person is for you, because see, what you have to understand is every single human being can be an underachiever or be an overachiever. It's just like your child. If you are a mom raising a boy, if you push your son and you make him do homework and you give him structure and you give him time limits on his phone, on his game, you give him a routine, you sit on top of the toilet seat while he in the shower bathing his body, you teach him how to wash between his booty cheeks, you teach him how to wash the head of his thing, you teach him how to wash his face, how to brush his teeth. You show him what he got to do. You give him a schedule. You give him a routine, and you hold him accountable. You're going to have a high achiever. If you don't make sure he's showering or bathing, brushing his teeth, washing his face, lotioning his body, studying for school, you're going to have an underachiever. So when you get in a relationship, whatever you require, that's what you're going to get. Whatever you let go, that's all you're going to get. Anything you tolerate, that's all you're going to get. You teach people, this is my quote, not Dr. Phil quote. They stole it and showed it on Dr. Phil's show, and I seen him posted on his page with his name under it. You teach people how to treat you by what you stop, what you allow, and what you reinforce. Google it. You teach people how to treat you. You're going to see my name on it all over the web. Google it and hit image. That's my original quote that Dr. Phil stole. And people, oh, Tony B want credit. Shut up. You don't want no credit because you ain't got nothing to credit. So hush. If you get something that could be credited, you're going to want credit too. And so that's how it is. Whatever you allow, whatever you accept, that's what's going to happen. Anytime something happened with me that my wife don't want to accept, she shut it down. Anytime something happened with her that I don't want to accept, I shut it down. And so we have a very high level of respect for each other. She knows that I will leave her. Brand, relationship coach, everything, all that, she know don't none of that mean nothing to me. If she disrespect me, she do me wrong, when I'm doing her right, she know I'll be gone. Now, if I'm doing her wrong and she do me wrong, I can't expect her to do me right if I'm doing her wrong. So that's totally different. So that's what you got to understand. I know that if I do her wrong, when she doing me right, she gone. She gone. Because she know I'm at work. So she knows she going to get child support. She knows she going to get spousal support. She knows she going to get half. I ain't got no prenup. So at any day she want to leave, she could leave. And she will get half. And might get more. And so that's what you got to realize and understand. Is that you going to get what you demand. You ain't going to get what you worth. You going to get what you demand. And so if you in this situationship and you living together, you sleeping together, you playing house, and you're afraid to have a marriage conversation, you're going to stay in that playing house situation. You're going to stay right there until you wake up and smell the Folgers in the morning. Folgers, send me a check. You're going to stay right there. You're going to be right there doing what you're doing until you wake up and smell the Folgers in the morning. And so this is what you got to realize and understand. And once you realize that, now you're able to sit down and have a conversation. So this is the thing now. You want more. You want marriage. You want marriage. You might want kids. Whatever it is. Why are you afraid to have that conversation? How can you want to devote your life to someone for the rest of your life and you afraid to have a come to Jesus meeting? You're afraid to sit down and have this conversation. Cool, calm, and collected. Because now it ain't about twisting somebody's arm. It ain't about coercing somebody into marriage. It's about, this is my life. I'm giving you my life. I'm giving you my time. I'm giving you my commitment. I'm giving you my body. How am I not worthy of a ring and a commitment until death does us part? Why am I auditioning as if you are God's gift to the earth? Why am I still auditioning 12 past 18 months, past 24 months, as if you are the most special thing in the world? This the conversation that got to be had. You ain't got to say that, but you need to have this conversation like, what are we doing? And if it's, oh, I'm not ready, oh, this and that, oh, this and that, but you ready and they not ready, that means that's a strong possibility they don't want you. Or they need to talk to me and realize that what you trying to get in order don't have to be in order before marriage. Like, y'all could get married. If this person okay with you, y'all could get married and y'all could build that together. What you trying to get in order, finances and all of this, if your other half is okay with you and want to be married to you to help you get that in order, then that's a winner. You with somebody, that's a winner. And if they not no winner, then let them go so that they can meet somebody that they are a winner too. Don't hold somebody hostage because you're not ready. And don't be held hostage by somebody who is not ready. Now, neither of you should be ready inside of 12 months. But once you cross 12 months, it's time to start having until death do us part conversation. When you are a grown adult, 25 years or older, once you cross 12 months of exclusive dating, it's time to start having the conversation. And the marriage should not be pushed out no further than 2 years from that 12-month mark. So 36 months in this day and age is the maximum time you should be in a serious dating relationship without being married. 36 months. If it go past 36 months, it need to be very extenuating circumstances that is approved by multiple professionals who have heard y'all situation and say, yeah, y'all should wait another 6 months, 12 months, what have you. Other than that, and here's the thing. Oh, well, what about sex? Oh, we need sex. Oh, we need sex. Oh, this right there, right there. Are you a crack addict? It's just sex. It's just sex. It's not like you adding years to your life. It's not like you become clairvoyant and you make $1 million the next. It is just sex. It ain't doing nothing for you. It ain't changing your life one bit. You just is broke, busted, and disgusted right when as you get up. You get all that stuff on your sheets, all that stuff down your leg, and you still broke. If you ugly, you still ugly. If you ain't got no purpose, you still ain't got no purpose. If you on a dead-end job, you still on that dead-end job. It is just sex. Stop trying to act like it's the fountain of youth and it's the windows of heaven. It is just sex. If you that strung out about sex, you need therapy. If you can't control your loins, if you got to get put on your bike or you got to unzip your pants, if you got to be doing all of that right there, you have no self-control. You have no discipline. You have been touched. And whether that means literally or by a demon, because you should be a slave to nothing. So if you cannot abstain, you're not fit to call yourself an adult. You're not fit to be a productive citizen in this world if you don't understand abstinence. Because let me tell you, in marriage, a woman gonna have a period. she could come off a period and catch pneumonia or the flu and be sick for 2 weeks. So now, just like that, and she could come off of that sickness and go through a migraine headache, go through a migraine spell for the next 7 days. She could come off that and her grandma die. And now she out of it for another week or 2 weeks. She could come off that and get laid off a job. You can go in the real world with everything that's going on. People got cancer. People having strokes. People having congestive heart failure. You got death in the family. You got loss of job. You got so many different stressors. There's couples that have sex twice a year. And they married. It is imperative that you learn how to abstain. See, I didn't learn how to, I ain't have to learn how to abstain before marriage. I had to learn how to abstain in marriage. Because when your life is going a million different ways, and you got kids that's in sports, and you waking up this early in the morning, you going here, you going there, you doing this, you doing that, and you got all this stuff going on. You got all this stuff going on. Listen, I'm going to tell you like this right here. You got to learn how to abstain. It's time the woman going to want it and the man ain't going to feel it. The man got something going on. A man could have, drinking too many Mountain Dews could have erectile dysfunction. ED. The woman could have stuff going on. I done coach situations where the women have this type of thing to where, like, inside of their thing, it feel like needles. With any type of anything touch it. They have very sharp, excruciating pains. And they can't figure it out. The doctor can't figure it out, or they figure it out and they got to do different type of little stuff for it. But it's like anytime they get touched, it's excruciating pain. And so what is the man to do? Love everything about that woman, but that one thing. What, he got to go cheat? Got to know how to abstain. And with those women, it take them a lot of time. Like, you may have to tongue kiss for 30 minutes for them to really, for their body to all the way relax. So it's like so ain't no quickies, ain't no wham bam, thank you ma'am, ain't no Christian Grey, 50 Shades of Grey, ain't all of that. Ain't all of that. Very mild, very innocent, very cutesy, very demure. It ain't all that extra going on over here. And so you got to understand that. And so that's why you have to realize that if you can't abstain in dating, you're going to have to learn sometime. So it'd be better to learn in dating so that you could prove to yourself that you still love this person through abstinence. Because marriage going to put it on you. And if you say you want to be faithful and you don't want to be in no affair, then you need to know you love this person enough that in seasons where the intercourse and the action is not readily available, you're able to stand on your vows and still be there 10 toes down. So, hey, it's Tony Gaskins. Think about this thing now. Get this in your spirit. Start coming out of that situationship and start getting ready to go all the way now. And appreciate your shout out. Blessed Tribe, Patreon. To the donors, Tony Gaskins Family Foundation. The link is in the description. So if you find it in your heart, you want to support us in our boys club, the summer program for the boys, but also outside of there, we also, like right now, our foundation has a mom and her children in a hotel from a toxic abusive relationship. So we also have a program for that. And so we covering that tonight and tomorrow night. And these are situations where we vet. Sometimes I say stuff like this and I get emails like, if I can't vet the situation, I will be a bad steward, because I know it's a lot of scams that goes on, and sometimes you just can't tell. So this stuff that come to me directly, to where I may know the person personally, or I know their family, or I know there's some way that I can vet it. So thank you so much for your donations, for your support, and we're gonna keep building that, keep stretching it, with the goal eventually one day to have learning centers, that I could have some of y'all that work from home could work from the learning center, and then when you clock out of work, have them kids there and putting their headphones, getting on the computer and going through the tutoring for the reading and the math, the STEM project, and then being able to feed them, being able to let them play video games or whatever it is until they could go home, whether you take them home in the van or they guardian come pick them up. And so that's the goal. Eventually, that's the macro, that where we can have those learning centers all throughout. And so stay tapped in, stay tuned. Thank you so much for your support, and also the monthly supporters. Got a few monthly supporters. God bless you. The link is in the description. Save it for when you get that tax return. Bless you. We got the Dubai retreat coming up. Got the Costa Rica retreat. The Costa Rica retreat in October. It is co-ed. Had to open it on up. It wasn't enough men. So it's co-ed. So you'll see the link for that eventually. I might just put it in the description. For the Dubai, it's a form you fill out first, and then get on the phone with Marquita and see if it's a fit for you. But in Costa Rica, you just could click and sign up. So join me over there in Costa Rica. It'll just be me. It ain't gonna be my wife, because Tatum got practice every day and got school, and that's the only time that they was able to do it. And listen, I did Bali by myself, and all the women that was there can tell you it wasn't no Derek Jackson or Ace Metaphor behavior going. No, you hear me? I don't play the radio. So don't y'all be sitting there and getting in that sin. Oh, I wonder what Tony gonna be doing. I wonder if he gonna be on us sleeping with them women. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I be ready to pull my hair out and jump off a bridge. I be like, every time, I be like, Lord, why did I sign up for this event? It's only one woman I want to put up with, and that's Cherie Gaskins. Lord, please don't let no troublesome women be on the Costa Rica retreat bothering me. I'm like, Lord, I'm gonna try to bring my dad on that Costa Rica retreat. So if y'all like to talk too much, talk to him. I got to go. I need to decompress. I am done peopling. Daddy, coach this sister. She needs some coaching. I'm gonna bring my dad over there. Now it might be an extra charge. Bring you another $50 per session. I'm bringing my dad over there. Y'all can do all the coaching y'all want to. For me, it's just really a vacation where you could get out, get to meet other like-minded people. It ain't no deep retreat coaching, all breakthroughs and all that. No, I ain't doing all that. I'm not doing all that. I'm not a therapist. So God bless you. And if you are a therapist, then sign up for the retreat. No, I can't pay you. No, I can't pay your way. But if you want to come over there and do some therapy, you welcome to it. Come on. Get on there. God bless you. We'll talk soon.